This is Isabel, and right now I am with Daddy, and we are going to teach about the king and queen mate. So, for the audience, where do you think the easiest place to checkmate on the board is? If you are right, where should the black king be? Where it'll be easiest to checkmate him. Okay, you can pause your video if you want to think. But the correct answer is in the corner. In one of the corners of the board, the king only has 3 options. On the side, he has 5, and in the center, he has 8. So, Daddy, pretend you didn't know anything about this checkmate. What would your first instinct be?
To put the king in check.
So, let's see how that works. Let's put the king in check and have the king move. Let's put him in check again. The king will move. Let's put him in check again. The king will move. Let's put him in check another time. The king will move. And you're not getting anywhere by just checking over and over again. Oops, one move. And now we are back in the starting position. So, Daddy, why do you think your first instinct would be wrong?
Because you could never get the king in a checkmate.
Correct. And what's the best strategy?
To slowly box the king in.
Yes, you're gonna create a box that the king can't escape, and then slowly make the box smaller until you get into a corner. So, does anybody in the audience see a move that will create the box and make it as small as it could possibly be? You can pause your video if you want to think more. But the correct answer is queen to d3. Do you see the box? The queen controls the whole d file and the whole third rank. And if we include the edges of the board, I can't show arrows on this screen, but you should be able to see that it's a box. Now let's give black a move. In this position, we need to play Simon Says. It's slowly making the box smaller. Now let's have black try to stay as close to the center as possible. And trust me, that box is getting smaller. So let's count the area of the box right now. So first let's count the length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the width is 1, 2, 3. So that makes the area 18. Now, let's give black 2 moves. Now the area is 1, 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is 14. Which is less? 18 or 14?
14.
Yes, correct, Daddy. It's 14, which means that the box is getting smaller. Now, this entire time, black only has one option. Wait, how is this a draw? This is not a draw. Okay, I think that I know why this is saying that it's a draw, because I had to make a whole bunch of moves to get to this position. Just ignore it when it says that it's a draw. But when the king gets into the corner, do not play Simon Says, because if you do, then it's stalemate. The king has no spaces to move, and then it really would be a draw. So here we need to bring the king into the action. Please just ignore the fact that it's saying that it's a draw. So the king is coming into the action. And then here after this move, does anybody see a checkmate in one move? Pause your video if you want to think more. But it is queen to g7. Checkmate. Now going all the way back to the starting position. Okay, let's just go to here. Now I am going to make a little puzzle for you to think about. And pretend that it's White's turn. Your homework is to try to checkmate in as few moves as possible. Get together with someone else and try to checkmate them as White as soon in as few moves as you can. The fewer moves you can do it, the more points you get. And I just have a little note. Let's pretend that the king's here and the queen is here for here. What pretends that the queen was any piece? If it was any piece, then what piece could you make it to put the king in check? That's right, it's a knight, which means that the queen is a knight's jump away from the king. So this is your little thinking puzzle. And I will discuss it in the next video. I hope you had fun learning about the king and queen mate. Oops.